So my whole face was reconstructed. My skull was crushed. So growing up, I was a really angry, crazy, rebellious kid. And then when I turned 19, I went to my first workshop. It was called Life Spring in Kansas City, and it literally changed my life. It was the first time in my life that I realized it's not what's here that matters, it's what's here that matters. And so through my personal development journey, my professional life, I spent about 23 years in sales, mostly medical sales. And then the light bulb went off about 7 years ago. I really realized my vision was to teach, train, and support other people to be the best version of themselves. So I went into more of a sales training role for a medical company. Fast forward to 2018, I've written 2 books, From Zero to Sales Hero, From Zero to Speaker Hero. I'm a avid Toastmaster. I used to not be able to speak in front of people. Like I would never do what I'm doing right now years ago. But I began to develop my confidence, and what also came into my path and what brings me to this group here right now is that in 2018, I was at a crossroads in my life. I wasn't happy and I wasn't sad, but something was missing. So I took this thought habit finder assessment, and I didn't think much of it. I just thought, okay, it's just another personality or behavior assessment. And the coach I worked with got me to see a lot of things in my life that were not making me happy and that were keeping me stuck, which is what I'm going to talk about in a minute. But out of that, I went through this course called the Thought Habit Finder. I left my 14-year marriage. I started my business again. I wrote my second book. I also today have a very wonderful boyfriend that I feel like is my soulmate that I wish I would have met 20 years ago. So my whole life shifted and opened up. But I think the most important thing is I took ownership of my personal power again. I quit doing drugs. I had developed some addictions over the years of staying trapped in a marriage that I wasn't happy about. And I finally have let all that go as well. So with that being said, what I'm going to talk about today is when we talk about our thought habits around dream creation and around goals, what does that mean? So Sheva, do you want me to share my screen, the slides I sent over to you, or did you want to share them?
Why don't you go ahead? You're
Okay.
able to share it. Yeah.
Let me see here.
And if you have any trouble, I'll pull it up.
Okay, here we go. I'm bringing it up right now. Okay, can you see my desktop, everybody? Hang on, it's coming up. I'll take a second.
Perfect.
All right. Can you see it?
Yes. Oh, it went away, Amy.
Okay. Hang on one second. There it is. Okay. Okay, can you see it now?
Uh, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I'm getting all these little reminders. Okay. So what I want to talk about is our thought habits. Can you see?
Yep, we can see
the
it.
screen?
Yep.
Okay. So let's take a moment and talk about what are thought habits. Number one, it is probably something many of you are curious about when I say the word thought habits. And that is this. There's 6 key areas of thought habits that I'm going to share with all of you. Number 1, what is the assessment and what are the thought habits? So when we take the thought habit assessment, in a few minutes, I'm going to show Sheva's thought habit assessment. But what this is going to be is it's something called the Hartman Value Profile. And what that means is that when you take this assessment, it's going to look at your thought habits in 2 separate worlds. Your inner world, this is you looking at yourself in the mirror. So my self-esteem, my joy, my dream creation ability. And then your outer world is going to be you looking out the window. So what do I think about people? What do I think about work? What do I think about structure? That is going to be built in the assessment. I'm going to come to Sheva's in a minute just so I don't have to switch screens again. But one of the things I'll share with all of you is that our thought habits either support our success or they stop our success. So for instance, when I looked at the assessments I received from most of you, the 3 areas where I saw the biggest opportunity for improving your thought habits were in the area.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yeah.
I am having a hard, I'm wondering what you're seeing on your screen. Are you seeing your video and then you small, or am I?
Yes. And so if you're seeing her big, you just need to click on her and it'll switch.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm seeing the big screen. You can just click.
Okay. I'm
Can you
sorry,
see it?
guys. Is this working better now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry about that. Please continue.
Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, we've been able to see it from the beginning, so no
Oh.
issues. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Okay. So what this reveals to me is that, again, we have thought habits to support our success, and we have thought habits that will, let's just say, keep us from being successful. The areas where I'm going to take some time today before we go into the rest of the workshop, I want to give you all some tips on how you can enhance your thought habits around your joy, your self-esteem, and also your dream creation. So the first thing I want to talk to you all about is self-esteem. What are some of the things that we do that damage our self-esteem? And I thought I would share with you the 6 barriers to self-esteem so that this might make some more sense to you. But what exactly are these? Well, number 1, unmet expectations. If you ever say things to yourself like, I should have earned this much money by now, I should have gotten that degree, I should have more money in my bank account, I should have a happy family life, that's what we call unmet expectations. It's when we're putting a bar way above ourselves of things that we have not achieved, and we feel guilty and shameful we haven't achieved them yet. The next thing is when we do comparison. Comparison is when we're hard on ourselves. It's when we compare the worst version of ourselves to the best version of somebody else. Trauma, damaged trust. Now, this is an example I shared earlier, the car accident I was in when I was young. But what about you? Have you been through something as a child or even recently that's getting in the way of you experiencing the best version of yourself? Do you feel guilt and shame about something that happened to you? Maybe it was abuse, maybe it was an event, maybe it was a relationship you were involved in. But the good news about trauma is that trauma can actually give us strength. It can also brand our character. And I believe trauma gives us a superpower. Like my superpower is to create joy in other people from the trauma and the events I've been through. The next thing is secrets. Secrets are the things that we do that we don't want other people to know about. These are usually addictions. It can be drugs, alcohol. It can be guilt and shame. Doing versus being. This is what I call the type A personality. It's almost like we're injecting this drug into our arm of, if I just do more and more and more and more, I'm going to feel better about myself. But the risk we run is that we sometimes check out of relationships and we sometimes get overcommitted and overburdened. Next thing I want to share with you is when we talk about how to make our dreams reality. I want you all to start thinking about a couple things. Number one is that there are a couple things that could get in the way of your dreams being reality. This is number one, fantasy versus catastrophe. And number two, breaking the cycle of obligation. So number one, what do we do about this? Well, when you think about the first part, fantasy versus catastrophe, I want you to ask yourself, am I taking 2 millimeters of action towards my goals, or am I just thinking about my goals all the time and not doing anything to make them reality? So the power of goal setting is why we are all here today, but I want you to start thinking about taking 2 millimeters every day towards your goals. Don't get caught up in mental masturbation. I know that sounds like a silly term, but that's when we just dream and dream and dream and dream, but we don't take any action towards making the dream reality. The next thing I want you to think about is breaking your cycle of obligation. How often do you say, I have to, I should, I must? Instead, how about I get to, I choose to, I want to? And if you're getting ready to do something that you don't feel excited about, and you're saying that I have to, I should, I must, get rid of it, get it out of your life. That includes commitments, relationships, or, doesn't mean you need to walk away from them. Maybe you just need to take some time and fix some things so that you are constantly experiencing a place of joy in your life. When we talk about adding more joy to our journey, I want to give you some tips around this. So number one, think about this. Find meaning and purpose in your life. What is your gift? What is your superpower? What do you do better than anybody else in the world? As I mentioned already, I know that my gift, my vision is to inspire, and it is to create joy in people where it does not exist. The next thing I want you to think about is your time. Are you busy all the time, or are you being productive and creating your dreams? Decommit from things that are not helping you show up as the person you want to be, and also decommit from things that are taking away from the joy in your journey. The next thing is handling hard times. We all have hard times.
Amy, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Were you changing your slides for each thing, or we're just curious because we've been at this slide for a while and we weren't sure. I just want to make sure that my computer's working with yours.
Okay, I see. Let me see.
We're at the JOG team DNA results.
Oh my gosh, okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Liz, for calling this to my attention. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll jump back. You didn't miss a whole lot. Okay. I'll just share with you. There's 6 barriers to self-esteem. I went through those. And I'll send these slides out afterwards, everybody. Sorry about the technical issue here. But those are the 6 barriers to self-esteem: unmet expectations, comparison, damaged trust, secrets, and doing versus being. And then I was also saying, making my dreams reality. We want to get out of fantasy and catastrophe. Fantasy is when we just dream. We don't do anything about it. Take 2 millimeters of action towards your dreams, and then get out of the cycle of obligation. That's just when we're the hamster wheel. I have to, I should stay in this relationship. I shouldn't leave. I should do this. I should do that. Start looking at saying I get to and I choose to in my life. And then I was just here, handling hard times. We're all in a hard time right now with COVID, but what can you create? What can you do new in your life as a result of the situation you're in? And what I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and that reason is to serve us. If you are going through a hard time in your life right now, ask yourself this question: what's good about what I'm going through? It sounds crazy, but there's always a gift if you look for it. Be accountable. Being accountable means I don't blame people, things, situations, the past. I take accountability for what is going on, and I am in control of my life. And then last but not least, what is your mission and your purpose? Your mission is what your superpower is, and your purpose is, I believe, a result of something you have experienced or been through in your life. That's one of the mantras. Okay. So I just wanted to share with all of you, my gift to you is if you have not taken the thought habit assessment just yet, you can still take it. I will in a moment show you the link you can click to take the assessment. I will also do a one-on-one review with you so you can see what thought habits you have that are supporting or sabotaging your success. I do have a class coming up. And then I also just want to share with all of you that I'm always happy and excited to just chat with any of you offline. If this is interesting or curious to you, I'm not here to sell you anything, but I just want to be here today in service so that you can achieve your dreams. And last but not least, there is, oops, I was just going to share my information. And this is it. If you want to take that assessment I talked about, it is listed right here on that link. And I will be sure that Sheva and Karen, I think you ladies already have a copy of these slides, but we'll make sure that everybody gets them. And if you just want to set up a one-on-one to chat with me, that information is also listed there on my Calendly link. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. And I will turn it back over to Sheva.
Oh, well, thank you for that amazing presentation. I'd love for anyone to unmute themselves for questions and answers. Karen?
Can we hear you?
I think she's saying it won't let me unmute. Okay.
Now it did. Now
Okay.
it did. Were you going to show a little bit of Sheva's assessment?
Yeah.
Just so that people, I fell in love with it, so I thought it'd be fun to show Sheva's so people know what they get.
Yeah, I'm going to allow myself to be totally vulnerable here. And also, I wanted to say that, wait, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just feel that Amy's approach is super intuitive, and it's kind of like my experience with getting the Habit Finder. You know, I did her overview, and then I did her long deep dive, and it for me was very enlightening. Things that I kind of thought I could keep hidden were very revealed. So I just think it was like a quick 10-minute thing, and just putting just my things that matter to me in order of preference. And I was pretty shocked at how on point that could be. And but she does it in a very compassionate way that I didn't feel like you know, I just felt like she was handing me a rope.
Let's let her go ahead and share. And I experienced a great, I had a great experience too. So let's use you and Sam for being vulnerable.
All right. I will go ahead and bring up Sheva's assessment. And just everybody tell me when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you for your feedback, Sheva. I really appreciate it. And I always like to start out by saying, and I say this to everybody I do these assessment reviews with, is that, you know, this is it's a safe place. It's no judgment, no shame, and there's no guilt. So I always like to say that before I go into these assessments. Can you see my screen still?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. So what I would like to start out with, and just for the context of time, Sheva, do I have about 5 minutes or so?
3? Can we do 3?
Yep. Thank you. I'll make it 3. So what I want to share with everyone as I start is, first of all, that when we're looking at this, we don't look at thought habits as good, bad, right, or wrong. We look at them more as, you know, green is, that means we have a healthy thought habit in this area. When we see yellow, orange, or red, it means there could be some self-sabotage trending going on. So Sheva, when I review her assessment with her, what I do is I'm going to go through this. And as I mentioned to all of you earlier, what we do here is we look at these 6 thought areas, and we're starting with my dreams. So Sheva, I'm just going to ask you a question or two. I'm looking at your assessment, and it looks like you definitely have some bounce back ability in your dreams area, and you also, it seems like when you decide to do something, you go for it. Does that sound like you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm also noticing where it says openness to advice stuck. Do you ever, would you ever describe yourself as set in your ways, or do people ever describe you as stubborn sometimes?
It's interesting, I feel like it depends on how I'm approached, but if it comes across as I'm being controlled or manipulative, I don't, or not given a choice, if I feel disempowered, yeah, that's me.
Okay. Yeah, and the other question I want to ask you is, are you ever hard on yourself?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Can friends comment?
The reason I asked that, Sheva, is when I notice perfection, sometimes perfection means that we may be a little tough on ourselves, and we might be feeling like whatever we do, if it's not perfect, it's not good enough. And then we kind of beat ourselves up a little bit. So I don't know if you feel like that.
That is definitely why I am a perfumist, because it's great for being a perfectionist, getting tiny and, but definitely in areas of just get it done, move on. It's not,
Okay.
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay. Well, that's, it's, awareness is the first step of change. So it's good that we're having this discussion, and maybe that's something we can work on. The next thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to go to the next page, which is
I just think it'd be a lot easier
going to be my joy in myself.
I could have swore he said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm hearing some feedback and I can't tell where it's coming from. Never mind. Got it. Okay, keep going.
Okay, great. So first of all, your joy, a healthy score is 85 and above, and it looks like you have a 90 here. So would you describe yourself as a pretty happy person?
I'm a happy person. Yes.
Yeah, that's what this says. That's exciting. And the area called myself, which is a reflection of our self-esteem and our self-worth. One thing I wanted to ask you about is, do you ever find yourself saying things like, once I get to this point in my life, I'll be happy, or once I achieve this, I'll be happy, or if only I could be in a perfect relationship or have the perfect family? Do you ever, I don't know if you ever find yourself saying things like if and when, and your happiness is tied to things that are not right with you right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that, Sheva, is that when I looked at this and I saw conditional under your worth and worthiness, and also character questioning, that could indicate that we might sometimes be tough on ourselves, and we might tell ourselves things like, once I get to this point, I'm going to be happy, or once I achieve this, I'll be happy, which can tap our, we don't realize it, but it could tap our self-esteem. And the last question I want to ask you is, under boundaries, do you ever sometimes feel like at the end of the day, you're overcommitted? Maybe you have too many commitments or projects, and it's sometimes stressful. Does that ever come up?
Yes.
So when I was looking at your assessment and I saw boundaries, self-sacrificing, that means that, our intentions are good. We want to help and we want to serve and we want to lift people up. But what also happens is we get tapped on our shoulder quite a bit to do many, many, many things. And sometimes we'll need to put that little safety fence around ourselves and ask ourselves, when I'm saying no, what am I saying yes to? and start to really step back from the commitments and maybe do an inventory and decide which one of these are serving me and which ones do I need to decommit from, or do I need to set some expectations with people about what I can and cannot do? Does that make sense?
Yes. And just, we have about 1 more minute. We need to wrap it up.
Okay. So we're wrapping it up. I'll just show for the benefit of this group what the rest of your assessment looks like. You're definitely, you're doing the work you enjoy. I can see by this section called work. And then would you say you're a people person?
Yes.
Yeah, that shows on here as well, that you're, but you have a hard time probably confronting people. Is that uncomfortable sometimes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And this is a female trait. So it's not just Sheva, it's all of us. A lot of us women, we don't like to confront people. If we do, we really got to sit and think about, what am I going to say? What's it going to look like? Are they going to get pissed at me? So it's not a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of. Last but not least, your structure. You are definitely an entrepreneur. When I see rules to the left, authority to the left, and new ideas over to the right towards obsessive, this means that you are definitely somebody that would be happier working for yourself versus working for somebody else. And does that sound like you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I know this was a really quick review, Sheva. I'm going to pause there with respect to the agenda and our schedule today. Do you have any questions for me before I close this out?
No. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to go through your assessment with you and for others to learn from this. I really want to thank you for your vulnerability and your openness. And just so everybody knows, this is usually a 30 to a 90-minute conversation. So I usually don't go this quick, but again, I want to respect the schedule. So thank you so much for letting me go through this.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much, Amy. If you have any questions for Amy, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and we can address those at the end of our meeting, or we can just send those to her directly and she can get back to you. What I'd love for us to do is to move into a breakout session with your accountability partner. So everyone is going to be with one person, and what we're going to do is what you want to do is talk about what is that one small step that you know you're going to take to move forward on your goal. And just like Amy said, your 2-millimeter step. We today are going to have about 15 minutes to just really move forward on a goal that you want to really address, and that, you know, you just need a little bit of coaxing to just get going on it. Something you've been procrastinating, or like just setting the stage for something you want to get done. And perhaps even later today, you want to join our action party, which is a 2-hour slot, so you can just continue working on that big project. So
can I interrupt for a moment?
Yes.
So one of the things we wanted to do is to bring even more value to the monthly calls. So we will be having, like we did today, Amy speak and give us hopefully some information that helps us grow. And then Sheva is bringing her Take Action Parties concept to our Joy of Goals. Because if there is something that, like she's explaining, that it would just not take very long for us to do, we want to be a community of support behind you. How many times do you have that list? And in fact, Susie Tozier, you talked about it today, how you're using your phone. But there's something that if you took the time to do it, it could have a ripple or it doesn't have to be big. And so what we're doing is we're having this short time, and we just want to share that it's the take action that helps move us toward our goals. And I want to applaud Sheva for bringing this part to our calls, and they will be on all the calls now. And then we come back after we do this and Sheba will take it away again.
Yes, and at the end of the call, I'll tell you at the end of our meeting today. So stay with it. We end at 11:35-ish. Sorry, we might go 5 minutes over. I hope that's okay. If not, just let me know if you want more information. But at 11:30, I'm going to share the info for the action party. And Amy, thank you so much for adding your information and how to reach the habit finder in the chat box.
Sure.
So I'm going to put in the chat box now, again, your 2 millimeter to get to where you want to go on that one goal that you've just kind of not been really giving your gardening loving hands to. So we are going to now break into groups. Remember, it's like 1 minute per person, and it's just the two of you. So just quickly share what you want to get done in this 15-minute section, and then we'll meet back here in about 3 minutes, okay? So we have 8 rooms. Here we go.
Zoom will automatically put us in groups, guys. Right, Sheba?
Oh, we just lost a few people. Okay, so we have. All right, here we go. One group is going to have 3. Sharon, Nikki, can you unmute? Sharon, are you there? Okay, how do I? Hello, what's happening? Nikki, did the whole meeting end, or did I?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I just pushed something or I just all of a sudden was off. So it could have very well been me. But did everybody leave though? If everybody left, then it might have been something.
I don't know what I did. All of a sudden my Zoom just crashed and it said
Oh gosh.
closing meeting. So I don't
It's
know.
a learning curve, but people will try to start coming back then. So I guess just start looking for people trying to access the meeting.
Okay.
Does it make sense, or do you see that they're in their separate rooms?
I am not seeing rooms.
Okay, so people might have just gotten inadvertently kicked out, and so they'll probably be trying to come back in.
Okay, so meanwhile, I need to, okay, I'm back. I got everything. So, what would you like to do for your few minutes?
Well, I'd like to support you, and however I can do that. So, do you need to focus on letting people back in? Like, did you see me?
I
wanting
can see you. Everything's good. Everything's good. I'm
But then
here.
when I was in waiting to be let into the meeting room, did you see that?
Mhm. And
Okay, good.
I got you with me. That's how, yeah. That's how come it's just the two of us.
Oh, so other people are in the other meeting room.
They're all still
Got you. Okay, so nobody else got kicked off.
no.
Okay, awesome. So then I sent in the text that I just really appreciated you sharing. It sounds like this was a great exercise for you.
It's really hard to be that vulnerable, but yeah. I mean, it's good that people know who they're dealing with, so that's
Yeah. And it sounds like were there any surprises for you or?
well, I don't really see myself, I mean, like with my dad, I am very intolerant of receiving.
Are you at home with him right now?
Yes. So I'm very intolerant with, being coached by him or my mom. However, I like if it's somebody that is, like if asked, if it's solicited, I'm so open to it. So I guess that was sort of surprised me, but
Yeah. But if it's kind of shoved down your throat.
Yeah, I don't do so well. But I'm glad I don't do so well because that's my superpower. It taught me how to be empowered as a person when growing up I wasn't. So
Got it. Okay.
What kind of things would you like to put your attention on today? Would you mind telling me in the text just to me, and then I can support you because I got to close the rooms.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Actually, you can tell me. I think we still have 10 seconds left.
So I love the 2 millimeter because it just makes it much more attainable, right?
Yeah.
And that's fantastic how to frame that. So the 2 millimeter is entering all of my leads into my CRM. And that seems like it's a bigger deal, but in the big scheme of things, that's definitely my focus.
Great. That's great. Just put 3 in. Yeah.
What?
Just put 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Do we have everybody back?
Michelle's back. Where's everybody?
Okay, I think it's just about done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we are. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Is everybody here?
Yes, I think so.
That was so cool. I've never done that before.
Wait, Jenny's not here. She didn't come
You
back.
haven't done a chat room on Zoom?
I've never done that. It's like that exists.
Yeah, we're learning new things, and we wouldn't have if we didn't have this, the world going crazy. We learn new things.
Gosh, I need to learn how to do that. I'm all over that.
It's really fun. Yeah, so I would do a little thing here, but for the purpose of time and protecting that, I am inviting you now to, oh, yay, more people came back. Oh, we're still missing a few.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Missing.
But
Mine had another pop-up window saying going back into the room again. I don't know. So I don't know if I didn't take it, but it said go to room 1.
right.
Yeah, I was
So
for Jenny. There she is.
there's more back.
Okay.
Yay.
People are slowly pouring back
I'm
in.
back.
It's just like, we're in a convention center and, we're in the main hall and people are like strolling in. They had to stop and go to the bathroom first, and here they are. Okay. So, are you ready to move in on your goal today? Woohoo! Let's.
And does everybody understand that we're coming back in how many minutes?
15 minutes. Just one.
Take your phone and maybe set it for 15 minutes. And then you're going to leave, accomplish something that moves your needle forward, and then come back, correct? Shava?
Correct. And,
all right.
So mute yourself, but leave your speaker on, because when it's time to come back, I'll play a little music and say a little something. I'll give you also like a 2-minute warning before it's time to wrap it up. So again, just kind of get going with this is almost enough time to just sort of put attention toward what you want to get moving forward on. And you don't need to do anything except, pull up a different screen or walk away from your computer. If you don't want us to see what you're doing, just stop video, but don't stop the sound. But do put yourself on mute. And we will be back here at 11:15. Okay.
Will you want to mute me, because I can't seem to mute myself?
Yes, I will mute everybody, unless you've already muted yourself. Okay, happy productiveness.
Oh, I'm here.
We
So
are.
I'm gonna just, what happened? So she must need, I'll join breakout room, leave.
Looks like people are coming back.
It's not been 15 minutes, has it?
Well, I was in a room by myself and then Nikki joined me. So we were talking and talking and then we just thought, okay, should we come back?
Some of us weren't put in a room at all.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Oh yeah, I was by myself, so I was like, okay, I'll go grab
I was too, Amy. I was too. I was in a room by myself.
Zoom's capability needs some work then, evidently.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
No, we still have, I put the timer on. We still have 7 minutes, you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I will be right back then.
Michelle, were you in a room with someone?
No, Jenny. I was by myself.
So why don't we just talk here?
Sorry, ladies. I don't know how that happened, but let's I I I'm not going to put you in a different room, but if you don't mind chatting over the chat room, that would be great because we're still working. We have 5 more minutes.
Oh, over chat, I see. Okay, forget it. That's all right.
Sorry.
Sheba?
Yes.
Nikki Limley's trying to get back in.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hey, Sheba, I'm texting you.
Hey, Tommy, there's coffee.
Nikki, I can hear you.
Yay. Okay. Are people in breakout rooms?
No, we're doing our work party. Our action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, we have about 3 minutes left, everybody. Okay, start to come on back. And if you were on pause video, you can start your video and unmute yourself. Thank you for dealing with our lovely technical difficulties that we are having today. Just to show you how professional and sophisticated of a group we are. We keep it real here.
We're all learning.
Yep, we're all learning. And we, for the next few minutes, we would love to hear from you about anything that you heard maybe Amy Lemire share in her presentation that you kind of noticed an aspect of it or something that you just noticed about the way that you are getting ready to manage this juicy task. Like a little insight. Did anyone have an aha come up for them as they kind of started this process?
So I don't know if this is right, but when Amy was talking, I'm kind of a personality junkie. So like I've taken the DISC, I've taken True Strengths Finder, I've taken the Enneagram test. So I did email her. I'm interested in taking the assessment because the more we know about ourselves, which is my big struggle, it helps me get out of the way and do what I need to and know what those strengths and weaknesses are. Another thing, when I broke out in the group with Jenny, I talked a little bit about when we started about the celebration of the puppies. The reason that was such a celebration is because I have 2 teenagers and they don't like me, you know? So, you know, that gave me away with those puppies. It was kind of like a mom therapy for me, because my kids wanted to be around me. They wanted me to help out with the puppies. And Jenny was able to send me an email of a lady named Deanna who kind of has a podcast on teenagers. So that was amazing. So this has been a very amazing call for me.
Yay!
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 And did anyone else want to have a share? Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, so yesterday I listened to Mike Dooley. I don't know if anybody ever dials into him, and he talks about
love Mike Dooley.
Yeah, he's awesome. And so now he
Not
does
just
these.
because my last name is Dooley.
I was going to ask, is there a relation there, Cindy?
I wish.
Yeah, there you go, Cindy. So he talked about procrastination, and he gave, you know, where you start with what's the truth, but one of the recommendations is he says, I want you to write 3 things that you're procrastinating, and then I want you to take micro steps, just like Amy said today. So it was like a reiteration of what I heard yesterday. So it was really funny because I did something different than what I said I was going to do for this 15 minutes today. I was going to, what did I write down? Because I was by myself and all the Zoom stuff that went awry. But I was going to review my editing from an editor that I had hired to look at my website and just start it. But I had this sheet from a polka dot meeting that I attended, believe it or not, on 6/11, because I date everything. And there were 2 contacts in there that I wanted to make. One was a wardrobe consulting person, and the other was a body image coach. So I sent my emails. Yay me!
Awesome.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to send the emails and do the little micro. That was a micro touch, right? On how things get together.
You took action.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to share what, like insights, or had a task they were going to do and then all of a sudden switch gears, or anything that they felt successful at what they were doing that they even want to celebrate, that we can just cheerlead for them?
So I would love to share the breaking the cycle of obligation. Just really resonated with me, and I'm so looking forward to doing the assessment, because once you kind of know, awareness is the first step, then you know where to focus your energy. And I also have taken a lot of assessments. My background is in human resources. And so I'm curious, I would love to connect with the Enneagram people. I'm a 7, and I would love to hear what other people are.
Yeah, I've just been studying that. In fact, if you are interested in the Enneagram, there's a Facebook group called Rise Up Nation, and they just had the guy, one of the main guys who talks about Enneagrams, do a 45-minute overview of it, and he has a really great podcast typography or something like that. That's really great. And I would, any other last takeaways that anyone got from the meeting today that they would like to share, or Amy? Oh, were you wanting to share?
You're coming and going, Amy.
It's funny, I'm trying to come off mute and my video back on. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm sorry. And I just walked in and I'm off mute. So you were asking about anything we want to share, right, Shava?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It was interesting because I was by myself at first in a room, and then I was joined by Nikki, and we had a good conversation, getting to know each other. And, you know, it was it was more of a, who are you and what type of work do you do? She asked a lot about what I do, and I was asking what the type of work she does. But I think the big thing for me is, it was really for me a reaffirmation of my goal to serve other women. And it was also to me a reminder of why I do this work that I do. And it was all out of a lot of troubles and hardships I went through in my life over the past 3 years. So being in that conversation with her really just got me a kind of a wake up about, again, why I'm so grateful I'm doing what I'm doing, I guess is the way I'd summarize it. So.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you for
And
sharing.
you and Amy should have fun together. And Nikki, I said you and Amy, Nikki, you and Amy will have fun together. And I'm a lot like Nikki. I love learning because the more I learn about myself, the more I feel like I can be of service to others and help me understand others better. And I think you'll love the habit assessment. Cool. Anyone else, as Sheva is asking us, anyone else with takeaways?
And also, just while you're thinking, I would like to say that if you enjoyed having just this sense that you have a tribe that is behind you to get this task accomplished, these are really great for things that are long procrastinated type things. So if you really enjoyed that, today on the Gateway to Dreams Facebook page, I'm going to put in the link for the action party that's happening today from 2 to 4 p.m. And you are all invited. It's complimentary, and it is going to be 2 rounds, one a 20-minute and one a 55-minute round, for you to be able to really get going on that thing that's kind of hard to do. And
Sheva, are you doing those twice a month or once a month? Twice a month?
Once a month. Yeah, okay. Once a month.
And will they fall on the Joy of Goals day, on our call days?
Yes, I'm going to do it on the same day. Actually, I would love feedback. Does anyone feel that that's not a good idea to have them on the same day?
Saturday might be hard for a lot of people. I know it would be hard for me. I'd love to be on a call, but I think being on this call and then just with family and errands and everything, that's what I do during the weekend. So that's my feedback.
Okay, great. If you have any other you know where to reach me, so feel free to let me or Karen know any feedback that you have about that. I do feel open to doing it in the morning during a weekday. But I just haven't had enough interest because most people are needing, I'm not that great in weekday evenings, and most people are having a hard time with getting together during the workday hours. So I would love to also just do a shout out that we have our next meeting. I did a misprint on our agenda that went out in our email. It said August 15th, but we're really getting together the second Saturday of every month. So that's August 8th, 10 a.m. to 11:30 is the next Joy of Goals in Action meeting. And then we are doing,
and our speaker, one of our speakers is going to be Carmen Garcia. She's someone who is going to share part of her journey with Joy of Goals and some different things that have happened in her life. So that will be our speaker. I don't know how many of you will remember, but she attends Joy of Goals pretty regularly.
Thank you, Karen.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay. So just for any of you, do you like getting together once a month? Do you want us to continue this? We want it to be something that brings you guys together and helps you move your goals and dreams forward. So, we've made a commitment to block the second Saturday, not during a work day, but to give you, so there isn't an appointment or something, it does cut into family, but we're also keeping it at 90 minutes so that, and hopefully that you can get out and do whatever else you need to do. Do you guys like this to continue?
Oh yeah, definitely like this.
Okay.
So that's a yes
Okay,
for
yeah.
me.
Clapper, put in the chat room, yes? All right. Anything else about any of your takeaways from today? And I have to give a shout out to Sheva. If Sheva wasn't helping, this would be so much harder because technology is learning to be my friend. I'm not going to say I have trouble with technology. I have changed my thoughts about Zoom. I now love it. And I also want to give a shout out to Amy for her passion about helping women. We met through the National Speakers Association, and I am so glad that she has become part of the Gateway to Dreams community and her passion for helping women. But anybody else want to say anything before we sign off?
Yes,
Amy did a clap. Wendy?
Yes, this is really my first meeting. I came to the seminar, and I really appreciate you, bringing me in. And I think it's something that I'm looking forward to, being a part of. Because I am a procrastinator, so this probably helped me.
You're human. You're human. Melody, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I do. I want to thank Amy so much for her rich content today, and I was definitely inspired to get moving on things. And I want to thank you, Karen, for inviting me. That means the world. Thank you. I so enjoyed being with all of you.
So far away, but with Zoom, you can be here. I love it.
Love Zoom for that.
Yeah, I'm learning to love Zoom. Anybody else with anything they want to share before we get off?
Jana, we haven't heard from you. Are you still there?
Jana Gamble.
Oh, maybe not. But I just want to thank everybody for being here and for signing in, sharing your time with each other today. Because yes, we can always do things on our own, but together is better, right? So why not be a team and have that sense of community while you're also feeling like you're crushing it on your goals.
Sheva, I was going to mention, I will, I'm going to clean up my slides and I'll send them back to you and Karen with my contact info and the Habit link in case people want to take it.
Awesome. 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 Nikki, did you have something you wanted to say? I couldn't tell if you were just clapping or you wanted to say something.
Just clapping and thanks, gratefulness. So this was wonderful. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right.
We'll see you guys next month. Same second Saturday, 10 to 11:30 a.m. and p.m. a.m. Sorry, and then but later today, check the Gateway to Dreams. The link for the action party will be on there if you want to come in.
Okay, make it happen. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.